Okay, so the main subject of this video is going to be how to assign a video to one of your classes in EdPuzzle, and this is obviously extremely important because that's sort of the main point. You want to be able to assign it so that students can go to EdPuzzle and see what it is that you want them to do. So let's take a quick look at this, but just a reminder, if you're stumbling across this video, check out all of the videos and watch them in order. Otherwise, you might get lost. tinyurl.com/TED Teach from Home. And you can kind of go through all of these and get the whole picture, not just this one little piece of EdPuzzle. So up to this point, you hopefully learned how to make a screencast using Screencastify for free. And we went over what we're using and why we're using it, the way we're using EdPuzzle, how to import your students and classes from Google Classroom, how to upload the screencasts that you are making into EdPuzzle so that you can use the very important tools of EdPuzzle to monitor students while they're watching the videos, and how to insert questions, which is the subject of the last video. So up to this point now, that you've created these videos, added questions to them, hopefully you are ready to actually assign that video to one of your classes. And here's how you do that. Okay, so here's my EdPuzzle Dashboard. And when you click on My Classes, then over here you'll see the names of your various classes. I'm going to use this Hackensack Paras because that's not students that I currently have, but rather paraprofessionals that I was training, and I'm sure none of them have made their way to EdPuzzle, so I can use this as a demonstration class. So let's say I'm ready to take one of my videos and assign it to this class called Hackensack Paras. So I would click on Content here first, and remember, we're not using all of these there's lots of wonderful features of EdPuzzle, but we're using your own content that you've uploaded, your own screencast video. So you're going to click on My Content, and you're going to find a video that you have created that you want to share. Again, I have my videos organized. I showed you this in an earlier video. Mine are organized into subfolders, or you might have videos that are just sort of out loose. If you're using this frequently, I recommend that eventually you start to organize them into different folders so that it's easy to find. So let's go back to this Venn diagram, and let's say I already created a screencast about the Venn diagram and I want to assign it to one of my classes. I've made 5 of them indeed. So these are my own screencasts that I've created where I recorded my voice and my screen, and so now, and I've made 5 different ones in order. So I've named them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 so that I know what order I want them to go in. So now I want to assign number 1 to the class called Hackensack Paras. So I'm going to checkbox that one, and then the word assign pops up as one option here. So I assign it, and then you get to choose what classes you want to assign it to. So in this case, I'm only going to pick one. You could check more than one if that's appropriate for you to do. And then you have the option. It gives a start date. You could change that, by the way. You could put it in the future and have it start in the future. So if you had a reason to set this up and have assignments pop up on Tuesday, Wednesday in the future, you can do that. I usually just leave this to the moment I'm posting something. But I do recommend that you use a due date. Then the due date gets a little tricky because the due date allows you to sort of order the videos in what order they're coming in. So this particular video, which was called Venn Diagram 1, I want it to be due before Venn Diagram 2, because that's going to change the order it appears to the students. So that's important. So let's say I want this due on next Monday. So here, today's the 19th. I'm going to click on the 23rd. So that gives them, 5 days to do it. And you can change this later. Super easy to change. So if you change your mind, I move the due dates all the time. I especially move the due dates, not just because I want my students to do it at a certain time and that date may change, but I especially move the due dates to change the order in which the videos are showing for the students. And I'll show you that in a minute, but let's just finish this. So I need to scroll down a little bit. If you don't scroll down and hit this little save button, the due date won't save. So you have to hit save. And by the way, your due date can be to the minute. So if you have several videos that you want due at the same time, you can just kind of make them a minute apart, and you can therefore order the video. So I'm gonna, now that I have this set, I always leave prevent skipping checked off. If you wanted to also post to Google Classroom, that's up to you. I prefer not to do this because I don't want my Google Classroom getting crowded with various posts. I find students get confused when there's too many posts in Google Classroom. So I leave this turned off, which is what it is by default. And then I just tell my students, go to EdPuzzle. And then all of my assignments that I've assigned to them, all of my videos that I've assigned to them will be in EdPuzzle. So I just direct them to go to EdPuzzle, which could be a single post that you just create on your own to Google Classroom. Now, but prevent skipping, very important. If you don't have this checked to green, students can choose to watch your video or can choose not to watch it, and they can move around. Okay, so and by the way, when they watch a video, after they have watched it once, then they can skip around all they want, but they have to watch it. Otherwise it'll show that they didn't watch the video, or it'll show what percentage of the video they did watch. This is a very important component. I recommend leaving this checked. Don't let them skip around until after they've watched the video. So now once I click assign, that video is going to be assigned to Hackensack Paras. And it automatically brings me into that content. Now let's go back to my classes and let's go over to Hackensack Paras, which is where I am now, and you'll see that one video is assigned to them as a due assignment, and it has a due date of the 23rd. Let's say I wanted to also assign them at the same time, because that's a short video. It's only like a 4-minute video to get them into it. So I want to assign them number 2 and number 3 as well. So I'm going to go back. Here's a sort of instant replay. I'm going to hit content. Remember, we're using my content, not all the other slew of things that EdPuzzle provides you. And I'm going to go back into Venn diagram, and I know I want to send number 2 and number 3 also to the same class. So I'm going to click assign down here. I have to find the class I want to assign it to. Could be more than one, in this case just one. And a due date. And let's just say I used the same due date, the 23rd. So I'm going to click on the 23rd, very important, got to click save. And these things are set by default. I hit assign. Now when I go into, now it just shows me one of those videos here and the progress, which of course the progress is all set to 0 because no one's watched it yet. But I'm going to go back to my classes and I want to take a look at that class, Hackensack Paras. And here are those videos, but notice that they're sort of in reverse order, and I don't want this. Actually, they're messed up. 2, then 3, then 1. Again, I named them. When I put the videos, I gave them the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because that helps me and the students keep track of which order these are to be watched in. So in addition to giving it a descriptive name, I add the number at the very beginning. I find that's very important to remember to do. Now, here's how you fix the order so that students see them in order. Because even though they're named with numbers, students will watch the top one first, which is not what I want them to do. I want them to watch them in order. So I'm going to come back to the due date. And here's how you can change the due date super easy. So from here, you can just click right on this due date and you can change it. You can make it, maybe I'll make this one due at like 2 hours earlier at almost 10 o'clock p.m. And again, it's not really important to me what time it's done. I'm just using the due date to help me order the videos. Notice how that one now popped up to number 1 because it's due at a different time. This one is at they're now in the correct order, but these two have the exact same time. So just to be sure, I can change this one to say 10 o'clock so that now I know students are going to see these in order because I've arranged the due date. Although they're the same date, I changed the time of day so that they will appear in order when students watch it from their own console. So that's how you assign a video, or multiple videos to a class. Now, when students come to the class, their console looks somewhat similar to mine, but they will see when they click on my class over on the side, they will see these videos and they will know that they didn't do them yet and that they need to do them, and they'll see them in order. So that is how you assign videos to students. That's the end of this video.